All right, what is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We got to talk about energy, right? Energy is the best performing sector of the stock market this year. And it's something that we've been spotting, right? And there's many different ways that we were able to spot this. This is one of the charts, some ratio charts that we'll go over, okay, showing signs of a bottoming. And if you take a look at XLE, we are on the verge of making new all-time highs in the energy sector, right? Then you take a look at the XLE on the weekly time frame, you see a very clean breakout of this ascending triangle, this bullish chart pattern. We'll go over potentially where energy could be heading. And look at oil, okay? This is USO, potentially about to break out of a multi-year downtrend, right? Really, basically about a 5-year downtrend. And if oil breaks out, that could really further boost and further help the energy sector as a whole. And then we'll take a look at a couple individual names. There's PXJ. This is an oil and gas services ETF. Then we've got FCG right here, which is a natural gas ETF. And then we've got IEO. This is your oil and gas exploration and production ETF. So we'll take a look at some subsectors within the energy sector itself, and then you can dive deeper into those subsectors or play some of the subsectors, however it is you want to do it. But as always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. So be sure to read through the disclaimer. And if you're new to the channel, I started a completely free newsletter for you guys called Investment Intelligence, right? And that's where I give out free, valuable finance and trading content related to the markets. And I also try to sprinkle in some free trade ideas. Okay. In March, I talked about energy a lot in the newsletter, right? And we see that I had a very strong performance in March. And, again, that gets sent out directly to your inbox. Okay. And you could have seen some of those charts, perhaps even, took action on a couple of those charts and had some really nice profits. Now, there's a website associated with it, so you can go back, read some of the previous articles, read some of the previous newsletters that have went out. And if it's something you enjoy or think provides some value and you want it sent directly to your email, you can sign up using that link in the description. Now, if you want access to all the different charts, all the different analysis, you can go ahead and join the Discord. Okay, the Discord is only $10 a month right now. It's probably going to be going up here soon. And that's where you get over 20 plus swing trade ideas every single week. Sometimes I'm posting, 20, 30 charts in a single day. I also try to, point out any day trading opportunities or scalping positions that I'm looking at. There's many other valuable resources and indicators in there. These are what some of the trade ideas look like. Okay, Tilray, this was like a week or two ago, highlighting the 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio here, talking about how we're going to have a tight stop loss as a potential early entry for a breakout, looking to get in early before the breakout. And, today actually just closed Tilray, right? It was at 220, 222 or something like that at the time of this video, or at that post, and it exploded past both of the bullish price targets, going up to like 285 today. And I closed the last couple call options that we had in there. Really great play. This is VLO. This is an energy name, all right? So an individual stock. This was one that I really liked. It was displaying a lot of leadership before energy broke out. This stock was showing a lot of signs it was going to break out. And this was the chart back then, highlighting a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio and, targeting 166, and the stock is trading at $180 today. I went ahead and closed the last Valero position today too. Just always remembering to take some profits on these trades. So remember, $10 a month, you guys can get access to all those different trade ideas, all my different analysis, and much, much more. Now, let's get into it here. And we're going to talk about some ratio charts of USO versus SPY, right? As well as XLE versus SPY. So this one is going to be XLE versus SPY in yellow, and in white, we have USO versus SPY. And all this tells you is that when these charts are going down, this is telling you that energy and oil are underperforming the market. Okay. And we've seen times in periods before where it shows signs of a bottom and really breaks out and gets this sustained rally for a couple months, right? For a quarter or two, often at times. And you can see really big moves oftentimes, come along with this. And it really looked like we were forming a base here, right? And we were forming bases. And what have we done? Well, we broke out on the USO SPY ratio chart. We broke out here on the XLE SPY ratio chart. And now we've seen a lot of follow through in the sector. And as I mentioned, it's actually been the top performing sector of the year of 2024. 2024 is not the same market environment that we were in 2023. And you constantly have to adapt. Okay. If you think that all the same trades that worked last year, if you think those are going to continue working forever, that's not really the case, right? And so you really have to be diligent and look and find what the market is telling you. The market was telling us through some of these ratio charts that energy could be potentially breaking out. Now, as I mentioned, XLE is on the verge of making new all-time highs. Right, we're right here at 97. Okay, and basically we break out past 100, we're going to be making new all-time highs in the energy sector. We're well above the great financial crisis highs back here, and we're fast approaching the all-time highs. And when we look at things on a weekly time frame, I mean, to me, it looks like XLE, the next price targets are 102.84 and 112.76. So if we continue this bullishness, which one thing I will mention is, it's a little bit hard to come in here and chase at some of these names, right? We're looking at a weekly chart time frame that's overbought here, and we can see that we've had a very long extended period of no pullbacks. I mean, pretty much since the entire year started, we have not seen a red week in energy. Okay, so relative strength is something that a lot of people, get confused with. And just because something's overbought doesn't mean that it has to fall down. You're using the RSI as a momentum gauge. It is a momentum indicator. And what it's telling us right now is that there's been lots of momentum in it. Okay, look at what happened the last time we went overbought over here. We continued to go higher for another couple months. That very well may happen again. Okay. But, do I necessarily want to chase here? No, right? We're looking to get in before we bought in on the initial breakout of this shorter term downtrend down here. And, we've been riding this name, took some profits today, again, just to secure the bag. And now we can, look to see, what are we going to do? Are we going to move sideways, right? And correct through time, have a correction through time that would cause the RSI to cool down? Are we going to continue this massive uptrend that we've been on? Or perhaps we get a check back, right? That's something to consider and something to keep in mind. But we really have to talk about energy because it's just been performing so well here lately. And again, this is USO. This thing is potentially about to break out of about a 5-year downtrend, right? We're also looking for it to break the shorter term downtrend to look for a new entry into energy via XLE. We got that breakout. We saw continued strength afterwards. And, we're setting up a large base right here. Okay, this is about a 2-year base. The bigger the base, the bigger the rip in your face. And so, with a nice base like this thing could potentially be ready to really explode, right? And if we can clear 83, the next target up here is going to be right around 95. Think of what that might do for the economy. Think of what that might do for inflation, and think of what that might do for your portfolio if you are overly exposed to tech or don't have any energy as a hedge. And so I'm not saying oil is going to go to 95 or that I want it to go up to 100, $120. That's most likely not really going to be good for the economy. But as a trader, we have to look and we have to capitalize off of any opportunities that we see. And, in the newsletter and on previous videos, I mentioned, hey, if you have a lot of tech exposure, you really want to be looking into some of these energy names as a potential hedge. This is PXJ right here. This is an ETF. You can dive into some of the individual names. This is a monthly time frame right here, just so you guys can see really what we have going on. We see our trend line here rejected multiple times. We got a very clean break and retest, and we've really been trading in a bullish channel, right? I mean, we can see it's very defined, right? Looks like very systemic and very algorithmic buying right here. We've got a J hook pattern. We just confirmed the J hook by breaking out over here. This is a monthly chart and a monthly chart pattern. So we would need this monthly candlestick right here to close above 32.16. But the J hook gets its name from obviously the letter J, right? And so we would see something like this, potentially taking it up to the $40 region. Ultimately, above 32, we're looking at 47 is going to be our next target. Okay. That's going to be your next fib level up above. We've got FCG right here. We've got a little bit of some Elliott wave analysis going on this. Looks like a very clear 5-wave structure to me. I really love whenever we get these A, B, C, D, E triangle wave 4s, which is what we got right here. This is something that I really look for, or not necessarily look for, but when I spot, it's always a really great opportunity. And you can see this V-shaped recovery that this thing has had, basically after breaking out, getting a retest near this trend line here. And then it's just been absolutely ripping to the upside. Now, above 27.50, we're targeting 30.71, and then ultimately $35 up above is going to be the start of some of our wave 5 targets to the upside. We'll see where things go and how things develop in this chart. We've got IEO right here. This is another energy ETF as well. And we're seeing, it looks very similar to XLE, right? It's got that ascending triangle pattern here. Clean breakout, just blowing right past previous highs, overhead supply. It's basically trading at 111 right now, and the target here was just above 112. So this one has almost hit its bullish price target. That's going to wrap up today's video. Okay, just a quick one on energy. There's lots of different subsectors in energy. There's some that outperform, there's some that underperform. We went over some of the different sectors. We looked at some underperformers, we looked at some overperformers. And we also just took a look at oil itself. And it's just something that you guys need to consider for 2024. If this is the start of a much larger trend, then we could see something like this potentially last for the rest of the year, or maybe even a couple years, right? And we won't know for sure, only time will tell, but it's something you want to keep in mind, and it's definitely a sector that you want to pay attention to. That's where the flows are going right now, right? And Wall Street follows the money, and that's where people are making money right now, and we can see that's evidence as it just continues to pump higher. All right, the Discord is only $10 a month. All of the charts that we went over today have been posted in the Discord. A lot of these energy names and energy trades went up, hundreds of percent, depending on what type of options you got into. And, with really good risk reward ratios as well, right? And so if you want access to all of my different plays and analysis, trade ideas that I'm looking at every single day, every single week, over 20 plus swing trades posted, join the Discord. Okay, it's only $10 a month. And if you don't want to pay for anything, that's completely fine. I've got the newsletter for you guys, the Investment Intelligence newsletter. And as I mentioned, we talked a lot about energy in the month of March. And I've got a new sector, a new area of the market that's really been catching my eye. And we're seeing some really impressive moves here as well. It could potentially do what energy's been doing. And so if you want to know what that is, it's going to be in the next newsletter. So sign up now. Links in the description for all of that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.